Welcome to the Indie Horror Junkie podcast. Tonight, you will be joining Rotting Ricky and Asylum Amy as they play host to some of the true movers and shakers in the indie horror scene. So lock your doors, check under the bed, and get comfortable, because here we go.
And I'm Sylvia Saska, and we're the Saska Sisters, and this is Indie Horror Junkies! Indie Horror Junkies! Indie Horror Junkies!
Good evening, junkies. We got Rotting Ricky and Dylan Intriago in the house. What's going on, guys?
What's happening?
How's it going?
Everything's going good. We are on episode 96 of the Indie Horror Junkie podcast. So welcome back. If you're old, if you're new, we're happy that you're here. We have a really fun guest tonight. We have Darius Davila from the band Haunt Me, who's going to be on the show. We're going to talk about his tour, his new album, and everything that he's got going on and coming up. But first, we're going to get into some Indie Horror Junkie news. There's lots of it, so let's dive in. We have ScareCon coming up, you guys. First, we want to announce that no, Rick, they're closed. The submissions are officially closed. We have the wrong graphics, but that's okay. They're closed, you guys. We closed on Friday. We had a really awesome turnout. We're super, super excited for this. It's going to be happening at ScareCon on September the 5th through the 7th in Syracuse, New York. So thank you to all the filmmakers who submitted your films. The judges and the judges have been watching them. We're down to the final selections, and those official selection announcements are going to be, hey Joe, happening this Saturday, August the 9th. So filmmakers, if you submitted, check your emails. Those selections are going to be going out, and then we're going to be making even more announcements about film selections and special guests and special screenings. There's going to be a lot going on. So if you guys haven't grabbed your tickets, you definitely want to do that. Head over to scarecon.com and come hang out with the Junkies, because we're going to be taking over New York. Speaking of film festivals, we have open for submissions the Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival, which takes place at MegaCon Orlando. It'll be next March 2026, Thursday the 19th through Sunday the 22nd. So head over to Film Freeway, submit your indie horror short films, your indie horror feature films. And as you know, the Junkies know how to throw a good party. So you want to show up and show out, network, come hang out with incredible filmmakers from all across the country. This is a one of a kind event, and you know, we're a little sick in the head and we like to outdo ourselves each year. So we're already lining up some special guests and special screenings for that. So definitely get your films in. We have issue number 18 of the Indie Horror Junkie magazine available. Hell House LLC Lineage. They are going to be at ScareCon. I'm going to be fangirling because this is one of my favorite indie horror franchises. They are hitting theaters August the 20th. So make sure that you get your butts in the seat. Actually, head over to ScareCon. Head over to the Hell House on their Instagram and their Facebook page. I just saw that they're having a contest for who can sell out theaters in their city. So that's how we support these indie horror filmmakers. We get butts in the seats. The more tickets that they sell, the more weekends that they get their theatrical release. So head over to their Instagram and check out that contest. I know we're going to be going, and I personally cannot wait to see the film. And they're going to have a special screening at ScareCon as well. So again, if you guys are getting a ticket to the convention, you're also getting into the film fest where we're having all these incredible screenings. We've got special guests lined up already. Rick, let's get into that.
All right, here we go.
Lots of guest announcements. They keep coming. We have Alyssa Rose, Dave Sheridan, Daniel Roebuck, Kane Hodder, Jesse Posey, Tyler Posey, Eugene Clark, Stephen Jeffries, Amanda Beers, William Ragsdale, Costas Mandalore, Elizabeth Vermilia from Hell House. We have Kaylee Hyman, Jason Lively, Allison Patel, Sarah Nicklin.
That's it so far, but there's more being added all the time.
Yeah, more added every day. So definitely come and show up and show the support for not just the festival, for all these incredible guests that are going to be there. In other indie horror junkie news, we are busy in pre-production for The Reels of the Dead, Volume 1, the theater. It's a new indie horror junkie anthology. We're going to start filming in November. We have an original short film that's going to be inserted in the anthology along with 2 other short films. One of them was actually from our film festival this past year in Orlando at MegaCon, one of our horror short submissions. So you guys never know if you're going to have your film in the film festival and also be a part of the new anthology. So this starts in November. We're, currently in the works for not just the short film, but the wraparound story as well. So this is going to be fun. You guys stay tuned on our socials, stay tuned on our website, and check out our magazine for more details on that. But without further ado, let's get into some Haunt Me news, you guys. We're really excited to have Darius on tonight representing the band. We previously, in issue number 17, here we go right here with Paul Wiley on the cover, did a really great write-up on them, just who they are, what their vibe is, where they come from, their new album, which is Watch You Bleed, their tour. So let's go ahead and bring Darius on and get into some more Haunt Me news.
And there he is.
What's going on, Darius? Thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
We have Mary there saying happy indie horror junkie night. We've got Lance. Dylan. But and tarot cards, you guys. What's up? So let's get into the album. Let's get into a little about you and your band. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Haunt Me, and then let's kind of get into the music.
Yeah. So, wow, a little bit about me, huh? Well, I mean, I've been doing music since I was probably 12 years old. So and I'm like 29 right now. So it's been like 17 years of doing music and been in a bunch of different kinds of bands, anything from like metal and hardcore to indie to punk. So I've definitely tried my hand in a lot of different things. But for one reason or another, just like, things didn't really work out, or band members moved away or got married, or it was always like me left standing in all those bands. Like everyone decided to kind of like get married or move on. But yeah, during COVID in 2021, that's when I decided to start Haunt Me, and I really just did it as a passion project to stay sane during that like lockdown quarantine era. Especially as a creative, like I was just kind of like losing my mind a little bit. It felt like that, at least, so it was definitely like a creative way to just like cut loose and just have fun. And I really did it with no expectations. I just recorded some stuff and released it out into the ether that is known as like the internet. And it just kind of like started taking off. I don't want to say word of mouth, but kind of, sort of, that is what it is. Like everyone just started sharing it with each other. And before I knew it, I was getting like show offers, and I didn't even have a band. It was just me at the time. So at that point, when I started getting show offers from like California and out of state offers, I was like, okay, I probably should like recruit some musicians so that we can start playing live. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of brings us to where we are today. I mean, obviously the rest is kind of history, but yeah, so it's definitely just like a COVID baby kind of thing, I'd say.
Which is another reason I wanted Dylan to join the show tonight. I know you guys know each other, but Dylan's band Thad Academy, they also kind of birthed in the COVID era. So I think there's a lot that you guys have in common as far as that goes,
Yeah, no, for sure.
And word of mouth, you're not kidding. So I think I've told everybody here this story. Hey, Howard, of when I met you at New Jersey Horror Con, because we have a ton of mutual friends, and we had all hung out and like exchanged Instagrams. And I get home and I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, I've been listening to his music for like the entire past month. I had been tagging your song on Instagram, Devour, haunt me on all my posts announcing that I was going to be at New Jersey Horror Con, because I just came across it, like searching different like spooky songs, on Instagram, how you can go through the artists, and I kept going back to this song, and then we talked all weekend about your band. It didn't click, and then I got home and I'm like, I've been listening to his music this whole time. I had a message you. I was like, oh my God, go look at my post. I've been like promoting you for a month before I even knew you. But that's how, like when something sticks, I guess it gets that algorithm on socials and it puts your music at the top. So you're doing something right, because it kept showing me, obviously I'm looking for spooky stuff. I'm a spooky gal, but like your stuff was up there in the algorithm. So it's definitely cool to see that whole process, because as an artist, we have to have those kind of goals. Like, as much as we might despise the internet because we have to use it, you have to use it. And it's a big part of our careers. And so it's kind of cool to see where you start off and then how things kind of launch. And then once you get that attention, it just stays relevant and kind of circulates at the top. But I feel an indie horror junkie concert for the future. We're going to have to get you out to MegaCon in March.
Oh, yeah. That would be sick.
Let's do it. Come out to Orlando. Well, you're going to be here in Tampa in October at, you guys are playing at Crowbar on October is it the 3rd?
The 4th, Absolution Fest.
Yeah. Absolution Fest. Okay, so tell us a little bit about that. That's a 3-day festival, correct?
Yeah, it's a 3-day goth festival that takes place every year in Tampa, Florida. And actually, we were booked to play last year, but due to the events like of the hurricane, and it got postponed. So the whole festival lineup got moved to this year. So we're really excited to be able to finally do it. We've been kind of like waiting for 2 years to do it. We've played Tampa before at Crowbar, but it wasn't for the festival. It was for just like a one-off show, and it was like a great time. But honestly, like we always hear great things about Absolution Fest. Like it has like a great turnout, and like every year the turnout keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like the goth community there in Florida really shows up, even if they don't live in Tampa. People will drive in from different cities or fly in from different states just to attend the festival. So we're definitely excited to check it out and play it. But we're also excited to check out like the other like cool macabre things that Tampa has to offer, like the castle. I've heard of the castle over there. I've been
drag you there, don't worry.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Stoked.
Yeah, well, not just Central Florida itself, between Tampa and Orlando, has a huge, wouldn't you say, Dylan, a huge goth community. There's a huge
100%
indie, not just filmmaking, it's indie music, it's indie films. There's so many artists and creatives across Central Florida, but there is a huge presence of of goth, especially down in Ybor, when you have, those venues. You have the Ritz that, they play a ton of bands. You have Crowbar. You obviously have the Castle, and they're just known for everything goth. We've all been going there basically since we had our fake IDs. It's just what you did. It's like a rite of passage if you live in Tampa. So, but yeah, it would be fun to get you down here for MegaCon and then somehow get you a show lined up in Orlando while you're here. So let's plan that.
Let's do it. That sounds sick.
I want to talk about your latest album, Watch You Bleed. Congratulations, by the way. But what was what are some details of this? What are the stories? What is the concept? What is the emotion that you were trying to, capture in this album?
Yeah, so for this album, it's very different from our first album. So this is our second album. Our first album was a lot more sound-wise, it was a lot more post-punk, a lot more like guitar driven, not very electronic at all, to be honest with you. And the theme of that album was like love and love lost, like heartbreak and like sadness kind of thing. Like, because I was going through a lot of, I just lost my father when I wrote that album. I just got out of a really serious relationship, so I was dealing with a breakup. So I was like experiencing a lot of loss in my life when I wrote that first album. And yeah, really, I feel like you can really sense that when you listen to those songs. But on this second album, it's very different. It's a lot more electronic, a lot more synthwave and darkwave, a lot more electronic elements to it. And then as far as the theme is a lot more, I guess you could say, lustful. It's not so much about love and love lost. It's more about like, it's kind of like, I like to think of it as like a vampire love story kind of thing. It's heavily inspired by
romantic.
Yeah, romantic in a different way. Exactly. It's definitely passionate for sure. It's kind of like, it was very like inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula, and even like the the new like Nosferatu movie, you know, like kind of like the obsession and the
Nice.
lust and stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of that's definitely what this new album has, like vibes wise.
Was there any particular track that challenged you the most, like once you got into writing it, that maybe you started off one way and then you went a different direction, but it ended up being your just favorite track?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Let me think about that. Well, I think so. There's a couple that come to mind. I think there's one called Cemetery Rendezvous, and that track on there, like I from the moment we started writing that, like I really liked that track, and I thought I knew me like it gave like really big like Depeche Mode vibes, and I really obviously I love Depeche Mode, so I was like, hell yeah, this is great. But my guitarist, he wasn't a fan of it, so he was like, oh, I think we should replace it and like not include it on the album. So I really had to fight for that song to be on the album, you know, just because I don't want to be like a dictator and be like, no, we're gonna have it on the album. You know, I kind of want to like convince him, you know, to willingly want to put it on the album. So he wasn't 100% sold on that song for whatever reason. He just didn't really like it too much, even though he wrote a lot of it, which is funny. But I was like, no, trust me, people are gonna like it. It's gonna be good. I know it's a slower song, but like it's really good. So we ended up putting it on the album, and it's like our top 5 song right now on Spotify. So like it really performed really well on the album. So I would say that one, just off of like a difference in like opinions and difference in like what would work or what wouldn't work on the album, I guess you could say.
How do you guys handle creative differences? Like, is it different every time? Is there a method? Is it, you know, like,
Yeah.
how do you handle that? Because you have two creative minds that you're coming together as a joint force and you both want the same thing, but you're two different brains. So how do you guys handle those differences?
Luckily, that's a really good question. Luckily, we don't have too many differences. Like, there's never really been like a big like argument about it. We try to like we usually do like, okay, well, let's try both ways and then like see what sounds best. So like sometimes it'll be like he wants to take the song a certain direction or I want to take the song a certain direction. So we'll be like, okay, let's do both. So we'll essentially like write 2 different songs or make 2 different versions, and then we'll like compare the 2, and then usually at that point, well, we can both come to a consensus. But if like it ever gets to a point where it's like, no, we're still like at a standstill, I pretty much have the vetoing vote since I'm the one who started the band, kind of like the founder CEO type of tiebreaker vote. But I try not to ever let it come to that. You know, I try to be very compromising and hear other people's perspective in the band, even our bassist. So we're a 3-piece, but me and my guitarist Larry, we write all the music together. So our bassist doesn't write anything. He just performs with us live. But during the writing process, I definitely like, you know, I try to be as open to opinions as possible and different things like that. But if it comes down to it and like a decision has to be made, then yeah, my decision is the last straw kind of thing.
So you guys are on tour right now. Let's get into that. So you have the writing phase. How has touring together, does that change the dynamic at all? Like, you guys are, you know, constantly going to, you know, you guys travel all over the world. Like, you're in different countries going on tour. So kind of tell us about that process, and from the creative side to now you're on, you know, traveling and you're pushing the album. What does all of that process look like for you?
Yeah. Well, whenever we're on the road, we really don't write a whole lot when we're on the road. Well, at least I don't. I like to just like focus at the task at hand because it's so exhausting having to tour in general. So like, I think to like focus on other things, I personally don't like to do it. I know my guitarist like dabbles in like he'll bring his laptop sometimes and he'll like try to make beats, you know, while we're on the road, and like that's what keeps him sane. But me, I like to just like stay locked into just doing tour and like that's it, you know. So I really only write and record once I'm back home from tour or like on a break at home. But yeah, I don't know if that answered your question.
No, I feel like that being on tour is kind of the reward. Like, you've done the work and you've gotten to the point where you can just push the album and get in front of an audience and, you know, get more ears and eyes on what you guys are doing. That seems like the reward. Dylan, do you have any questions for Darius, being that, you're kind of in the same scene that he is, and anything come to
Yeah.
mind?
Yeah, like how do you when it comes to either um content creation or like fan interaction, like how have you managed to kind of set aside time for that, um considering between the touring, between the writing, and just overall just getting up and doing it? Because one of the things that we've been almost struggling with is like, how do we almost kind of do that without coming off as a uh, I don't know if narcissistic is the correct way to put it, but just like kind of absolutely know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the fan interaction is a huge part of growing your fan base because when we first started out, I made sure to, and it is I'm not gonna lie, it is exhausting, but it's very worth it. Like every time a fan would message us or comment on a post, no matter what it was, even if it was just a heart or a fire emoji or asking a question that the answer to was clearly in the post, like I always go out of my way to like be as polite as possible and like attention and answer their question or just comment back, just because fans really they like that a lot, and it goes a long way because it shows that you're not like that they're not just another number to you, that you actually matter to them, and that's how it is for us. So like even when we do when we play shows, I always work merch. I'm always working our own merch. Yes, I could hire a merch guy, or get our merch person to do it, but I prefer doing it myself because I like to meet the fans. I like to interact. I like to talk to them, and it really does build that rapport and relationship. And we've had people say to us like, "We love that you guys are so down to earth and that you guys like work your own merch and you're not just like hiding in your green room all the time." Like, so it goes a long way, and we always get complimented on it. And honestly, like I love doing it. It makes the shows 1,000 times better to be able to meet all the fans and talk to everyone. Like that's like what I love most, honestly.
Nice. All right.
I would agree with that. And Dylan and I go to a lot of shows, especially in Orlando, because there is such a scene there. We like going and seeing new bands. There's bands that I'll go just to listen to so I can get them in the magazine because I'm just a big fan of what they're doing. And I am always so impressed, like what you're saying, when the artist will get behind the booth, because I'm the first one to buy a t-shirt. I live in black concert tees, like it's all I want to wear. And I want to support every artist that's in the room. So I will go and buy a shirt from each band that plays. And it makes a big difference when you see this artist on stage and then now they're behind the booth and you can go and like tell them like that was a really great show, and and they're interactive and they talk. It makes you feel like you have that connection, and those are the bands that I continue to follow and keep up with. And there's actually a band, Time Cop 1983, that their music was in Stream. It was in Terrifier, and they came to Orlando and did a show, and Dylan and I got a chance to go, and I just talked to that guy today actually. He is part of that band, and he's going to be we're going to be promoting one of his new singles in our next magazine. So you just never know, like being friendly and putting yourself out there definitely goes a long way. But Dylan, you guys are really good about that. You guys are very interactive at your shows, and you guys are always talking and hanging out with everybody. But speaking of fans, Darius, what, going back to your album Watch You Bleed, what is something that you want fans to take away from this particular album?
Ooh, that's a great question. I definitely I guess just take away from this specific album, like from like as us as a band, or just like a message from like a theme.
I think maybe just like what, I mean, you wrote this with a certain feel and aesthetic. Do you want them walking away with that same feel? Is there enough, context for them to interpret it their own way? Like, what do you want them to feel when they listen to this album?
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely think like this is the kind of album that I want you to be able to like put on, like definitely it'll fit like any environment, whether it's if you're going to a Halloween party, and you need a soundtrack for a Halloween party, you can put it on. Or if you're going for a late night drive with your friend, you can put it on. Or if you're making out with your crush in the drive-in movie theater, you can put that on. Or just like fit every kind of occasion. And that's kind of like what we're doing. But obviously the overall message of it is love and romance. But yeah, I mean, honestly, any kind of vibe is what we're trying to go. And I think we did a decent job at that because there's some songs on there that are more energetic and dancey for like club
Yes.
environments, and then some songs that are more like love songs and more chill. So yeah, I'm definitely proud of that.
I was just talking about that today because I was driving around a lot today and I was listening to a lot of your music. I was like, this is great driving music, because sometimes it's like I feel like I find myself listening to the same thing over and over again when I'm driving, and it tends to be just like throwback stuff for me. Because I don't, it's like I listen to the radio, you know, I'm just trying to keep up with like what's going on socials and listening to local bands and like underground stuff. That's more what I'm into. So if I find something, I get like hyper focused on it and I'll listen to it a lot. And I kind of been doing that with Haunt Me lately. Like I'll drive to it. I'm not gonna lie, I've cleaned my house to it. Like
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
it is an everyday, you know, kind of vibe. So I would definitely agree with that. Have you guys ever found yourself the band? Have you wanted to collaborate with any other artists? Have you guys gone down that road yet? Have you considered it?
Yeah, we actually, yeah, we collab with artists all the time. So we've actually done collabs with a few bands. I don't know if you've heard of them, but there's one called Dead on a Sunday. We did a song with him. He kind of went like TikTok viral a little bit with his Bob's Burger video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's funny like how he got like really big was because he released a song, and it was kind of like a mashup / cover song. But everybody like was commenting on the TikTok video like, this guy sounds like Bob Belcher if Bob Belcher was singing, and like it just went viral. And he actually does sound like that, so much so that the actual like people like the production like department of Bob's Burgers, the show, reached out to him, and like
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty
That's
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, so I was
great.
like, so we've toured with them actually. Dead on a Sunday, we've toured with them, and we became pretty good friends with them, and we were just like, let's do a collab together, and we can just perform the collab like while we're on tour. So we did that together. We've done a collab with The Masks, which is a band from Chicago. They're like they're darkwave, but it's kind of like, yeah, his vocal style is a little more on like the hip hop side of things. It's a pretty interesting collab. That's our most recent one. But yeah, we've collabed with other artists. There's like this Korean goth band from Vegas. We're friends with them. We did a collab with them, and that one's actually interesting because it's a trilingual song. So it's English, Spanish, and Korean. So 3 different languages in that song. So we're
and you have there was a song I was listening to today. I don't remember which one it was, but you were singing in Spanish.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have some Spanish.
What song was that?
Well, we have a lot in Spanish. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it just depends which one you listen to. But we have a whole EP that's Spanish too. So
That must have been what I landed on, because I was like, damn, I love this. This sounds great.
like, yeah, no,
It makes it sound even more spooky and romantic the way that you sing it.
I appreciate it.
So with you guys being out on tour, have there been any like standout cities or standout venues that you've played at so far that you're dying to go back and play at again?
Well, we recently just did our first ever like sold out theater show in LA. That was like 2.5 weeks ago or weekends ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like that one definitely stood out just for the mere like milestone, you know, of it. That was like a really big honor for us, and we felt like that was like, yeah, I can't really say it any other way other than we're just super grateful, and like it was like a milestone though, you know, like you dream of doing it, but you know, sometimes you doubt yourself if you can actually do it. But so we were able to sell that out on a Saturday night, and like LA, like it's hard because LA people have good music taste and they love going to shows, which is great. But you also have a lot of competition in LA because there's so much to do there. There's so many shows. There's so many movies that are coming out. So to get, you know, 800 people in a theater to see you on a Saturday night in LA, like that's a big deal for us. So that one for sure, I would say that's a standout. When we played in Europe, there was definitely some standout shows, especially in like France and Germany. Yeah, we love that. Then we played actually like a surprising show is we did Lithuania, and like I was expecting like 5 people because it's Lithuania. I didn't know that we had a fan base there, but it was actually like a really big show, really big crowd. And I don't know, we have videos of it, but it was just crazy because I was like, I don't even know what's in Lithuania, you know? So
how you even ended up there?
Yeah, no, for real. It was surreal.
Be Same is my favorite one, and it's in Spanish.
Oh, Besame.
Besame.
SMA. Sorry, I can't read. You guys know me.
No, you're good.
I'm just here for a good time. So, are you guys playing a mixture of old and new songs on tour right now? Like, you throw in some stuff in from your first album as well?
Yeah, for sure. So we're doing
Because I'm sure the fans love that.
Yeah, we're doing mostly new stuff like to promote the new album, but we are doing a good mixture of like our most popular from the other releases we've done. So we have a couple of Spanish songs in there because we have a really like big, really prominent Spanish Hispanic fan base. So we have a couple of those. Yeah, a couple from the first album and the other EPs. So yeah, I think the fans overall will be pretty happy with the set list, I'd say.
What is your favorite song right now to play live?
Oh, to play live. I'd say like, dang, that's tough.
Is it the same as your like is a crowd favorite, or do you have a specific one that just for you is your favorite outside of a crowd favorite? What would those two be?
To perform?
Yeah, like what is your favorite to perform, but also like what is a crowd favorite? Like what's like something that everybody seems to go wild about?
A crowd favorite for sure is Please Stay. And
I love that song.
yeah, and honestly that like I don't want to be cliche, but that's like my favorite to perform too. Just because like it's like so empowering to hear the crowd like sing your lyrics back to you and the energy. It's usually our closer of the set, to be honest. It's usually the very last song we play because of that reason. Like the crowd goes crazy, they're singing the lyrics. But people
I
are
love
like,
that song because it's really simple lyrics, but with a enormous meaning and emotion behind it.
yeah, no, exactly. That one's special for sure. I like there's certain I'm sure like maybe Dylan can relate, because he writes music and he's a musician. But there's certain times when you write like a song as an artist and you're just like, damn, like this one for sure. Like I just know this one's gonna pop off. Like this one's gonna be a crowd pleaser. Like, and I got that feeling when I wrote Please Stay. Like I just knew that it was gonna be like a hit. I just knew it.
Well, it's definitely one of my favorites.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. But Besame too. I don't know who commented that. Oh, someone need to hear Clementine live. Yeah, Clementine. That's a deep cut from our first album.
Yeah.
Clementine. It's a slower song, but I actually wrote that song about. Have you seen? Well, you're a movie buff, but have you seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that song's about that movie. Clementine's the name of Kate Winslet's character. So
You're breaking my heart over here.
dude, yeah, that movie is heavy. I love that movie though. One of my favorites for sure.
Well, speaking of horror movies, Darius, what are some fun horror watches for you? They don't have to be your favorite of all time. Just what are some fun like rewatches or cozy films? Like what do you kind of gravitate towards, and has any of that inspired you with your music?
First of all, I want to say I love this topic because I love movies. I love talking movies. I've even contemplated like making my own like movie review YouTube channel / podcast for fun, but it's hard finding the time. But I would love to do it. But yeah, so it definitely has inspired like my music. I love watching movies. I actually studied film in college. That was my first major before I like changed it to like get a degree to make money. But which I'm not using, by the way. I just do music. Totally not using it.
It's funny how that always works out.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as some horror movies that I love, man, there's so many. But off the top of my head, I love The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. I love the practical effects in that one. So good. I love the Alien movies. Alien 1 and 2 are my favorite. But Alien Romulus, which is the one that came out, it came out on my birthday last year. That one was really good. Yeah, I love that one. So good. I love the Predator, the original Predator. I love that one. Alien versus Predator. I know it gets a lot of flack, but I really enjoy that one. I think it's a very entertaining for what it is. And then I love Freddy versus Jason because it's just so like it's over the top and it's funny, but it like I love the gore and the brutality of it. Terrifier 3, I literally watched it 5 times in the movie theater.
The moment you mentioned brutality and gore, I figured I'm sure he saw Terrifier.
Yeah. Terrifier 3, like that's my favorite of the Terrifier films. I love the Black Christmas influence. You could tell that he's clearly influenced by that movie, and Black Christmas is another great one. Let's see. Some of like the newer ones like Barbarian, Get Out, which is Jordan Peele, and then my favorite lately, like my favorite new horror movie is The Substance with Demi Moore.
Ooh,
So
such
good.
a good one.
Amazing,
So
amazing.
And if you missed seeing it in the theater, you missed an experience.
Yes, 100%. Another movie that I saw 3 times in theater. I will
Yes.
go to a movie, see it several times to
If
support.
it's that good, I agree.
Yeah, if it's that good, just to support everyone and yeah, I just experience it. But honestly, The Substance got robbed of like an Oscar for sure.
It
It
did.
Everything.
It did.
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah.
And
if
when
you
you
like-
watch that movie, and I've said this before, it feels like an indie film with the practical special effects and the creative tone that they really stuck to. It felt indie, which I loved. But yeah, they got screwed on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say if with your what you like with the gore and stuff like that and those types of movies, there's one called Bring Her Back, which is an A24 movie that just came out. That
Yeah.
is really disturbing. That movie.
I actually did see that one. That one was
You did?
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie a lot. The only thing I didn't like was the ending. I don't know if I can give
Yeah.
spoilers, but the
No, I know what you're saying.
yeah, the ending, like I was like, come on, I hate that lady so much. And she goes out, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish she would have had a justified ending, but it was a great movie though. I liked it.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
The name Haunt Me. Obviously, you're influenced by horror, and I'm especially wanted to hear your newest CD being inspired by Nosferatu and stuff. But where did the name come from? How did that happen?
Yeah, so great question, because I think a lot of people think that our name, because we are into horror, specifically me, like I love
Yeah, me
horror
too.
and macabre stuff, that they assume that haunt me is like, oh, like ghost stuff, right? Like haunting someone.
Yeah.
But I actually meant, when I made the band and I chose that name, I meant it in a romantic sense, to haunt someone in a romantic kind of love way. Kind of like when you fall in love with someone and you just like think about them all the time and you just want to be with them, you know, like they haunt you, you know what I mean? And it's like,
I gotcha.
and if you experience a breakup, you know, that's another haunting too, because you're haunted by your memories with that person. And that's also why I love Eternal Sunshine so much, because, you know, Jim Carrey's character is like haunted by Clementine and his past relationship with her. And he just can't take it. So he undergoes this procedure to get his memory wiped of her and their time together. And the same can be said for Kate Winslet's character. That's why she undergoes a procedure to begin with. So I when I chose the band name Haunt Me, I meant it in the way of like a romantic sense, not really like a spooky sort of sense. But it works both ways.
Yeah. Very cool.
Dylan, over there, you got any more questions tonight for Haunt Me? I just feel like you guys have so much in common with where you're at right now creatively. And we have so many musicians that we have on the show and also watch the show.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm glad to be here. I miss my guy. You know, it was a great time last time.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I don't know how often you come to Florida. I know, you know, you're touring a lot and everything, but Halloween Horror Nights.
Oof.
Do
That's
you
right.
have any how, if you were gonna come, do you have any houses that you might be like interested?
I
Well,
know.
I think so.
I know.
Well, I heard the Terrifier house is going to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
So for sure that one. I don't know any of the other ones, but I want to do them all, to be honest, just to experience them.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently I heard there was gonna be 2 exits, right? There's a dry hallway and there's a wet hallway.
A dry hallway and a wet hallway. All right.
Yeah.
For Terrifier?
Yeah, apparently
That's
like
great.
there's
That's so
one
sick.
where you don't get soaked and there's one where you do get soaked.
You're gonna be down here during Horror Nights, so I don't know how long you're gonna be in town for, but what's up,
Well,
Jeff?
Yeah, like I was telling Dylan, we were having a conversation on Instagram, I think through DMs.
Yeah.
And I was telling him that I definitely want to, my goal is to try to do both. I want to do Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, maybe in October, and then in September do it in California. So do both parts.
Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, I probably can make it happen. So I'll probably see you guys, you know, if you go.
I wonder
We'll
how
have to,
different
we'll
they
have
are.
to coordinate that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier in the show that you're getting ready to do a hometown show. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that at a venue that you have played at? Is it at a new venue? Are you guys like expecting a big turnout for that, I would assume?
Yeah. Well, we're playing at Paper Tiger, which is like, in my opinion, it's like the best venue in San Antonio. If you're not playing a theater like the Aztec or the Mayan Theater, then then Paper Tiger is like the premier venue in San Antonio. So we're playing that, the main stage, and that is August 23rd. And it's our first hometown show of the year. So we haven't played our hometown in 8 months. So we are definitely expecting a big turnout. It's been so long. We've grown a lot since the last time we played there. So yeah, I mean, honestly, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to seeing some familiar faces and some new ones, some family, some friends. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and we can't wait to play it.
Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, let's go. Yeah, everybody's excited. I still haven't got my tickets. I hope they haven't sold out the nights I want to go, but I'm a procrastinator with tickets like that. But I love hometown shows. There's a lot that happen in Orlando with local bands. It's always fun to see them because you see the artists come back and it is filled with their friends and family. So there's a whole different vibe in the room. As far as venues go, is there do you have certain venues that are on your bucket list to play at?
Oh, yeah. So it's on my bucket list to play House of Blues Anaheim, which we've already played it, but we've played it as an opener for we were on tour with Calabrese, which they're a horror punk band. But I want to play it as a headliner, and I want to sell it out, because if you sell out the House of Blues Anaheim, they give you a custom skateboard with your band's name on it. And I'm
Really?
yeah, it's so sick. Like, I saw a recent band who sold it out. All the band members got like custom skateboards provided from the venue, and it looks so sick. Like, it had their logo, but like the logo looked so cool and different. Like, it was so dope. And I'm like, dude, I want to like play that just to sell it out for that reason. So that's on there for sure. In my hometown, it's definitely on the bucket list to perform at Aztec Theater. That's like a lot of like bigger artists go and perform there. I'm trying to think everyone you can imagine honestly has played there. If you're not playing stadiums, you're playing the Aztec Theater. Hometown wise, it's that one. Maybe in Los Angeles. I don't know. What's like the big one? Oh, actually, well, Red Rocks. I know that's kind of like really up there, but Red Rocks Amphitheater in Denver.
Yeah,
that would
it's
be
so
sick.
beautiful there.
So yeah, but apparently you have to be invited to play, which I didn't know that. But you have to
You're
be
just
invited.
gonna have to take clips of this podcast and edit it and send it to each of these venues and say, "Hey,
You're right.
we're Haunt Me. We want to play." I want to go back to when you guys created this album. What was the time frame that you spent on writing these songs and then recording and mastering before you really started pushing it? Like, do you release your music one song at the time? Do you release the whole album? And what was that time frame from then until you went on tour? Just to kind of give people watching, it's like making a movie. There's all these different steps. It's a whole process. It just doesn't happen overnight. What was that time frame just for this album for you guys?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question, because this album took a long time to make, for a lot of different reasons. But this, whereas I think most bands, or I'm not sure, bands that I know of, like they would probably release like 1 or 2 singles and then release like the remaining 10 songs of the album, or 8 songs, all at once. So most bands probably only release 1 or 2 or maybe 3 singles on an album. But the way we did it, we like released, I want to say like 6 singles on the album, 5 or 6 singles on the album in like a span of like 3 years. And then we released the rest of the album. And we didn't do that on purpose. We just kind of like, we were going with the flow, and we released singles, and those singles performed really, really well. I think the first one, I think Watch You Bleed, the name of the album, that single came out in 2022, which was 3 years ago. And then another popular song, Filthy, that one came out, I think 2023. So we pretty much, once we released those singles, I was like, okay, well, I want us to release the second album, but these other singles, like, I don't want it to just stay singles. Like, I think they should be on an album, and I think they fit the vibe of what I'm going for the second album. So I just kind of included them on the album, and honestly, it fits together cohesively. The way that all the other songs sound together, in terms of like the electronic sound of Watch You Bleed, and the theme and the kind of like lyrics behind Filthy, like it all fits together well. So that's kind of how we did it. So pretty much Watch You Bleed, we took us like 3 years to finish that 12-song album. kind of took our
As an
time.
artist, do you feel like there's really not a certain way to release your music, or do you feel pressured that we have to follow this structure, we have to do what is mainstream, or do you just kind of, like you said, do what's best for you and figure it out as you go? Because I feel like for a lot of, bands that are getting started, they feel the pressure of like, how do I release this, and am I doing it the right way, and I'm spending the money to record and master, so like what do I do with this? Is it just something that you worked out, or is there a formula?
Yeah. So there definitely is pressure. I feel like to do things a certain way and to like conform to what the norm is, right? Especially when you see bigger artists doing it a certain way or bigger artists that are on a big label. But we really don't, or at least we try not to like follow the norm or follow the trend of what other bands are doing or other artists. Um, Especially because we actually have our own studio. My guitarist, he has his own house studio, so we record all of our own stuff. We produce, mix, master. We do all of that in house, so that alleviates a lot of the pressure for us. I
For
think,
sure.
yeah, I think if we were on a label that like had expectations and like they were paying for our studio time, they were paying for us to do this and that, then we would feel a lot less freedom to do whatever we wanted, and we'd feel like, yeah, a lot more pressure to do what they wanted to do and release songs and albums on their time frame as opposed to on our time frame. So because we're so independent, we are very, very DIY. We're self-managed. I manage us. We were 100% self-booked until earlier this year. We just recently got a booking agent, but up until then, I was booking all of our shows and all of our tours. So we're very DIY. So because of that, I think we have a lot of freedom to do
You
what we
have all
want
the
to do.
control. Yeah.
Yeah. So we like to keep it like that for sure. We don't like to feel pressured, you know.
And that's why we're indie filmmakers, you guys.
There you
Well,
go.
there are so many similarities because if you are doing something as a filmmaker that is a union project, or whatever it might be, you have to follow within the guidelines of the union, or you're fined and they can hold up your project. And we realize it might limit us. We can't work with certain actors, but we're okay with that. Like, we like to keep it in our hands. We want control of the creativity. We want control of like all the little things, like the artwork and how things are released, and all those things. So I think it's really cool that you guys are sticking to what you want to do and how you want to do it. And I think that's why the music and the vibe that you guys are putting out there is loved, because it's not anything cookie cutter. Look at the little kitty cat.
Yeah. Hades, say hi.
No.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
that's my one of my cat sons. His name's Hades. But his brother's asleep right now. But yeah.
We're here for it. We like the spooky cats. So what is next for you guys after you're going to have your hometown show? Or well, that's just for now, but then you guys are going to, when you play Absolution Fest in October, do you have shows lined up the rest of the year after that, or not quite yet? What is the plan? Are you guys going to take some time off? Are you going to go back to writing? What's next?
Yeah, so after Absolution Fest, we have to drive back home because we're playing 2 other shows after that. Well, actually, okay, so they're in talks right now, but we're playing 2 shows on the way back to Texas after Absolution. So those will probably, don't quote me on it, but they'll probably be in New Orleans, which I love that city, and Houston.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, and then we have a festival that we're playing when we come back to Texas, but I can't say it yet because it hasn't been announced. But we're playing a festival in October, and then we're playing another show in LA. That's going to be, I think that's a festival. Yeah, it's called Gothoween, and that's that's October 12th. So we have to fly to LA for that festival. So yeah, so it's definitely like October is definitely, we have a lot of shows booked for October, but a lot of them haven't been announced yet. So we have to like wait on that. But yeah, and then after October, we're pretty much done for the year. And that's
Home
actually
for the holidays. That's my favorite.
exactly. And honestly, I'm not complaining because it's nice to have time off, but also it gives us time to, well, focus on family and friends, but also write new stuff. I'm in several other bands and several other music projects, so it gives me time to work with those other bands and get those off the ground. So I stay busy all the time, so I'll be busy for sure. But yeah, as far as Haunt Me goes, I think October is probably like the last for us for a bit, or at least for this year.
I like the vibe of being done for the holidays. Rick knows that I'm like, don't book anything in December. We need to breathe. It's important. It's important to have that balance and to kind of get that rest. It's not that you're resting, like there's still things in motion and in play, but it's just a little bit more quiet on, the front where you can, let your mind just kind of settle and manage what absolutely needs your attention. But I'm excited to see you guys play. I can't wait for Absolution Fest. I think that there's a huge lineup for that show.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
The
talking
whole
3
festival.
full days at Crowbar.
Are you going to the festival?
We're absolutely gonna go.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Tampa. It's my hometown. Like, I grew up with my fake ID in Ybor City. These are like the bars that I either grew up in or bartended in, or So when I heard that you guys, when we were talking about that you're gonna be here, I'm like, I can't wait for it. So
That's amazing. Well, maybe we can. Well, we'll for sure hang out while we're all there. But have you been? I'm sure you've been, but to the Edward Scissorhands house, because apparently that's outside of Tampa, like right outside.
yeah, we've driven by it for sure.
Yeah, I would love to revisit. I visited it and took a picture in front of it, but I want to.
Okay.
I heard they give tours, but you have to like book in advance. But I'm not sure.
Let's do it.
Let's look into that.
Yeah,
and we gotta eat at the Columbia in Ybor City. It's
God, yeah.
I'm
it's
down.
oh my gosh, it's the best Colombian food in the area.
Have you been to Spookeasy in Tampa?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They have movie nights there. Rick and I, we did like an indie horror junkie movie night there one night where we went and showed one of Rick's anthologies. It's a really cool vibe. They have some great, what are the drinks called, Dylan?
Yeah. So it's they got
Teas.
they got coffee, teas, then they got kava,
Okay.
and then they got they got Delta 8
Oh,
drinks
yeah,
if you're
don't
into
do that.
that.
I can't do that. But I just won't. You guys will just want to like throw me in a car and send me home. But no, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a spooky vibe. They do have a catacombs, which is downstairs, which is more of a bar. They serve alcohol downstairs, but upstairs is not. It's more like food, and they have good food as well.
Yeah, that's
but
like
that's
across the street from the castle.
It is, yeah. It's like catty corner from it. So there's definitely a lot to do down there. They've got great pizza joints and all that kind of stuff. But I would definitely recommend the Columbia food wise. But no, we're planning to come. We have to come see you. I've been checking out the lineup. I've been following Absolution Fest on socials. I'm like, how can we like sponsor them and get Indie Horror Junkie attached to it? Like get them an ad in the magazine or bring them on, the podcast to promote the event because it's going to be so huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, honestly, that would be so sick. I don't know. Have you reached out to? And I forgot his name. Honestly, so bad.
I don't know. If you have a direct contact, let me know because I've emailed and I've messaged and it just goes dead. But I'm like, we got to get this is our hometown. Like we want to get the Indie Horror Junkie involved and help them promote it.
Yeah, I do have a direct contact. I'll send you his Facebook. We communicate on Facebook. Messenger.
Okay. Very cool. That's perfect.
I do have another question.
With
regards to the fact that obviously you guys, especially with this latest album, you told me is very with Nosferatu and stuff like that. As far as that theme goes, have you been approached by any like indie horror companies or anything like that to have your music in any movies?
Not yet, but man, that would be a dream.
Hey.
For real, that would be a dream.
Well, there you go. All right.
We have this anthology that we're writing right now.
I'm so glad I said something.
I know. Don't worry, I was already on it. Yeah, no, Rick and I are writing this horror anthology. And this one is called The Theater, and we're filming it in an old historic theater right outside of Tampa. It's close to where Rick lives. What is the name of the theater again?
It's called the Suncoast Ritchie Theater.
Yeah, and was built in the 40s. It'll
be 100 years old next year.
Wow.
So we're going to be filming there, and then our plan is to screen it like for their 100-year celebration that they're having. So, but we're definitely looking for music for that, and so I'll be talking to you for sure.
Yeah. Let me know. That'd be sick.
Because we love the Haunt Me vibe. We got to merge all the indie filmmakers and indie music together.
I know. I was
But
telling Erica, well, because I don't know if Rick knows Erica, but I know you and Dylan do. I was like,
yeah,
hey, Erica, since you're the handler for like the Terrifier crew, like, let them know if if they need a song for Terrifier 4,
exactly.
we'll do it.
We're
Just
gonna
for
have to we're
tribute.
gonna have to get you out to ScareCon. Are you gonna be at some of the other cons coming up through the end of the year, right?
Yeah, I'll be at Silver Screen.
We're gonna be headed to Silver Scream. We have ScareCon and then Silver Scream. So
Mm.
paint me insane now. It's like get back from ScareCon, I'm home for 2 days, and then turn around and head to Silver
My
Screen. But
God.
so many people are gonna be there, so many of our friends, and it's just such a great networking experience. Plus, they have the concert. Even our buddy Paul Wiley, who was on the issue number 17 on the cover that your article was in, he's going to be out there. There's just going to be a ton of people in the industry. And when they get together like that, it's so much fun. Like it's just the networking and the music and like, how could you miss it,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm really excited for Silver Screen. Like the lineup, I was looking at the tickets today. The lineup is crazy. Like so
I
many
know.
big people.
I
Yeah, I'm
know.
excited.
So that's going to be a big party for sure. But where can everybody find you on socials, website, people who want to check you out and listen to your music?
Yeah, so we're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Our handle is at hauntme.music on all social media. We're on, as far as music streaming, we're everywhere as well. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Prime, I think Amazon Music, I guess is what it's called. Pretty much SoundCloud, Bandcamp, just Haunt Me. But yeah, so we're everywhere you can find us. But yeah, on social media, it's at hauntme.music.
And before I let you go, I have a special request
What's up?
or a question. When are we gonna get a music video?
Oh, yeah, that is a really good question. It's kind of crazy. We've been a band for about 4 years and we have no music videos.
I hear you, man. Don't worry about it.
we
I
really
mean,
want to.
filmmakers, hello, but no, I
You're
just
right.
with the music and tying in, I would love to see how you guys would tie that in visually and conceptually with the music because it is such a distinct sound that you guys create. I would just love to see what you did with that visually.
Yeah, we have so many ideas and there's so many things we want to do. It's really just finding the time to do it. But like I said, because October is our last like kind of month of activity for this year, we'll probably be filming a music video, this fall. So hopefully, yeah. So plenty to come in 2026 for sure. That's the year of the music video is what I'm hoping for.
You got to let us know. Now, do you guys think that you'll self-produce that as well? Like, are you just gonna
Ooh,
like,
great
do you
question.
want to get a professional DP or do you just like kind of want to like grab the iPhone and underground it and then
Yeah.
see what you can come up with?
I think it depends on the song. I think there's some songs that are more on the like indie, like lo-fi vibe that would be great for like, yeah. But I think the majority we want really good quality. So we want to like pay someone who's like professional at it and knows what they're doing for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we can definitely, between everybody that you know here and all of your other friends in the industry, you can definitely get set up with a good DP. But I would love to see that. I think that all the fans would love to see it too. I think that's something to definitely put at the top of the list when you get a chance, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Trust me, it's definitely our number one priority, especially after we already released that second album. So we're like, yeah, let's do some music videos.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, do you guys have any other questions, Dylan, Rick?
No, I think you covered everything that I had. I'm really excited to listen to his music.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you again. Honestly, I love your work, man.
Thanks so much, dude. Thank you,
It's so
bro.
good.
Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to see you again in September. You and Amy, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, all the
sir. Yes,
junkies
sir.
are getting on that airplane and coming to New York and then headed to Silver Scream. So we'll
Yeah.
see you then. We'll see you in October, but we're going to kick you back to the green room for just a second. So don't leave just yet. We'll tell you goodbye after the show ends. But thank you so much for joining us. You guys check out Haunt Me on socials. Check them out on, like you just said, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can find music, you can find their music. So check them out, like and follow. And if you like what you see here with the Junkies, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. We have another fun guest. Head over to indiehorrorjunkie.com to check out who it is. I won't give you any spoilers, but you definitely want to tune in. So until then, Later, junkies.